Okay, another pastor bites the dust. Before I get started, don't forget to subscribe on my channel. I'm just thinking out loud. And also don't forget to hit the donate button here and donate to this page. North Texas pastor charged with sexual assault of children. And of course, we know that this article is going to spread. This news has spread. It's all over the internet because of the fact it is a pastor, primarily a black pastor. Now, I don't condone what he did. And I know that there's a lot of people out there that's going to say, well, he's human. People are going to justify it and say he's human. But what he did was horrible and horrific. Now, I'm going to let you listen to the video and then I'm going to read the article. It's quite a short article, but I'm going to read the article to you. And then I want you guys to feedback and tell me what you think. So check out the video.
Trusted pastor, now he's behind bars for allegedly sexually assaulting some girls. News 8's Lauren Zakalik tonight live in Tarrant County with the latest details for us. Lauren?
Yeah, 59-year-old Daryl Yancey was booked into the Arlington jail Thursday night, accused of sexual crimes against children that police say happened in the 1990s and early 2000s. This is his mugshot. He has since been moved to the Tarrant County Jail. Arlington police have charged him with 7 counts of sexual assault of a child, 3 of which are aggravated. An arrest warrant affidavit says one victim was just 13 when the assault started, and she conceived 3 children with Yancey. Another victim was Yancey's own daughter. She confirmed what was in the affidavit today and gave us permission to share that. Police wouldn't comment on why charges were brought now. Yancey has been a pastor all over the DFW area. You can see videos of him singing all over YouTube. Police and those who know Yancey say he was most recently a pastor in Terrell. Reporting live in Arlington, Lauren Zakalik, Channel 8 News.
Now, did you catch that? He was in a relationship, or he sexually molested a child that's 13 years old that got pregnant 3 times. She got pregnant 3 times. Where were the parents? Why was this man able to impregnate this 13-year-old girl 3 times? After the first time, which there shouldn't have been a first time, but after the first time, why is he still alive? Or even, why isn't he locked up? But he went back the first, second, and third time and impregnated a 13-year-old girl. Why was he allowed to be with this 13-year-old girl by himself? Where were the parents? And even his own daughter. Why did his daughter remain silent? Now, I can understand the daughter because that's her father, and she more than likely feared her father. And he probably threatened her. But my question to these little girls, where were the parents? Or better yet, my question for these little girls, or in behalf of these little girls, where were the parents? Why were these kids allowed to be alone with this pervert? And even if he wasn't a pervert, why were they allowed to be alone with this man? Now, the article reads, an affidavit says one victim was just 13 years when Daryl Yancey started abusing her, and she conceived 3 children with him. And notice they put exclamation marks, like, how is this able to happen? And why aren't the parents arrested for allowing this to happen and for allowing this to continue to happen. Pastor Daryl Maurice Yancey, 59, was booked into the Arlington jail Thursday for sexual crimes against children that police say happened in the 1990s and 2000s. The pastor has since been moved to the Tarrant County Jail. Arlington police have charged Yancey with 7 counts of sexual assault of a child, 3 of which are aggravated because of the age of the victim. An arrest warrant affidavit says one victim was just 13 years old when the assault started, and she conceived 3 children with Yancey. He is a former pastor. She was living with him at the time because of her family had financial difficulties. There we go. She was living with him at the time because her family had financial difficulties. To me, that sounds like prostitution. They sold their daughter into slavery as a sex slave. The family had financial difficulties, so the pastor took her in for a price. We'll take care of you and your daughter if you allow your daughter to stay with me, and I'll make sure that she's well taken care of. That's the problem right there. And there's a lot of sex crimes, or a lot of what they call sexual, there's a term for it, you know, like where they're transporting these kids over the borders for a price, you know, sex trafficking. Right here in this country, children are being trafficked by their own parents. I just made that up, y'all. Trafficked. But they're being trafficked by their own parents, sold as a sex slave for perverts. She was living with him at the time because her family, not her mother and not her father, but her family had financial difficulties. Now, they didn't go to public assistance. I'm sure if they had went to public assistance, they would have gotten some type of assistance. They didn't have to go to this pervert and sell their child into sex slavery. The affidavit said that the victim placed a recorded call to Yancey earlier this year in which she confronted him about the abuse and the impact it had on her spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. She asked if he felt remorse. The suspect stated that he did not enjoy it and gave an example stating a man does not enjoy it because you didn't have a willing participant. The affidavit reads, he raped her. The court documents say another victim was Yancey's own daughter. She confirmed what was in the affidavit Friday and gave WFAA permission to share it. Police wouldn't comment on why charges were brought now. Yancey has been a pastor all over the DFW area. There are videos of him singing at church all over YouTube. On his Facebook page, he calls himself the Apostle. Police and those who know Yancey say he was most recently a pastor in Terrell. Now, I not only questioned where were the parents, but this answered it by saying that, of course, the family had financial issues. So when they questioned about why did it take so long for them to come forward, the thought that came to my mind was that they more than likely probably went to him for more money and he refused to give it. They had financial issues. They went to him for more money. He didn't give it. So they set him up. They blackmailed him. From, what was it, let me go back. Let me find the time that this all occurred. Was it from 1990 something to, oh, it happened in the 1990s and 2000s. So now they're coming forward with this after this 13-year-old girl gave birth to 3 children. Now, after the first time this 13-year-old girl got pregnant, why did the parents still allow that child to be with him? Shouldn't the parents be arrested? So I'm looking at this like, this more than likely was blackmail. He refused to give them what they wanted because, of course, they're having financial issues. They're struggling financially. And they're controlling him now. They want him to give them something. So more than likely he refused. And now a recorded call was set up. And after all of this time, he's now being arrested and being made to look like the only bad guy. But shouldn't the parents be arrested as well? So I'm going to put the article on the bottom. You guys can feedback, tell me what you think. Don't forget to click the donate button. Until next time, I'm just thinking out loud.